Today's episode was filmed and recorded prior to the coronavirus outbreak. All right, what's up, everybody? This is Abby here with another episode 3 for EXPATations, and I have here
Zaynah
and
Natalie.
And I have trapped them into doing this episode with me since they were already in town. So I wanted to get more stories about how people started out and got here. Well, they're in the UAE. So let's get to it. The first question is, why did you want to teach abroad? Who wants to go first?
Well, I think my experience was sparked by a study abroad program that I took at FIU, Florida International University. I went to China and I went to France. And that experience alone it was so great that I really wanted to be abroad a little longer. I felt that I've done everything in Miami. I experienced everything in Miami, where I'm from. So I wanted to move my career somewhere else. So abroad is what it was.
For me, I was teaching at a magnet school, like one of the top schools in Montgomery. And after teaching it literally just 4 years, I kind of felt stagnant, like I wasn't growing anymore. I wanted to have a change, a challenge, and I had 2 friends who applied to teach abroad, and when they came over here, they fell in love with the country, and they're like, oh, our school is expanding to high school. They know I taught high school. So I applied, had the interview. The principal was like, can you start in January? This was in December, and I was like, no. I can come at the end of the year. I can't leave my students in the middle of the year. So she said, okay, I'll hold a position for you starting the next school year. And here I am.
Wow. So I know you said that you didn't want no random questions, but I'm going to ask anyway. How long have you been teaching, and what is your subject?
Okay, so I teach art. I've been teaching art for 12 years now. So I taught 5 years in Miami, 3 years in Dubai, and 6 years, I'm sorry, that's not the right math. 6 years in Abu Dhabi.
For me, this is my 9th year teaching. 4 years in the States. This is my 5th year here in the UAE.
Awesome.
Oh, you said, what do I teach? I
Okay.
teach biology, but I've now covered from grade 6 all the way up to grade 12.
Yeah, biology's not my subject at all.
But
Now,
PE.
I'm about to say, y'all know how to teach people. Well, you know what? You're not wrong about that. You're absolutely not wrong. And I have been incorporating more things about biology and the body into PE to make myself and my students more aware about that. Trina's been helping me out with that as well. So thank you. And now I know that you can help me too. Break it down. I have to learn it and then teach it to my students.
I like it.
So when did you decide? So you got this idea that teaching abroad was a thing. I know you said your friend put you on game. So when did you actually, like, the day was just like, I'm going to do it? So people go back and forth with it, but when it was like, this is it, and I'm going to apply, I'm going to look up their website today. What was that for you?
Yeah, I was speaking to a sorority sister who was working in Afghanistan, and she told me about Dubai, working in Dubai. Everyone from the U.S. was there. So I basically applied in May, interviewed in June. I got my offer in July, and I moved out in August.
Oh, so yours is fairly quick.
Oh, yeah, it was very quick.
Wow.
Well, for me, I sent my CV to my friend. She passed it on to the principal.
Mm-hmm.
That was like Sunday in the States. So that's like Monday morning here. Monday evening in the States. Well, Sunday morning, afternoon, I checked my email. I had an email trying to set up an interview for the Monday night for me. Interviewed on Monday night. At the end of the interview, she was just like, we know that we want you. Can you start in January? That wasn't an option. So she said, okay, we can start next school year, which is August. At the time, now we start in September. So from there, life went on, but I had time to kind of transition and prepare myself and prepare my family. But the only hard part was everyone's like, well, when do you leave? And you don't really get a flight date. So it was just like, I don't know. I was literally having dreams about it. And one night I had like a nightmare. I just woke up in the middle of the night, checked my email, and there it was.
Well, I need to change this last question because clearly everybody always answers it within their question. But I guess the next thing that I will ask you, so your biology and your art, I know that a lot of people, at least for me, when I tell them about my subject, they're just like, what? Mm-hmm. You can teach PE or you can teach art abroad? What is it like? Has it been like for you being a specialist abroad?
I mean, I know different. Well, a little different. Different in a way that because of the group of students that I'm teaching, they are not used to the subject. They see the subject as really not important. So it's been a little challenging, but as there's some areas where I felt like, this is my time to make a change. These students are not haven't been exposed to it that much, so I really needed to put myself out, let them know what my passion is, and teach them what I know.
And how has your transition been teaching students from this side of the world?
So, again, coming from one of the top schools in Montgomery, where I have students who are well versed in sciences and they know the content and they understand the language, it is still a lot for them. Also, when we start giving them all these new biology terms or anatomical terms, when we're looking at anatomy, that was a struggle. But when you're coming here and you're looking at students who don't speak English very well, so they're learning. In one instance, at one school I taught, you're learning traditional Arabic because they speak the local dialect. You're learning French because that was your foreign language class. You're learning English and you're being taught in English, and then on top of that adding science. So the vocabulary was always what got them kind of like tripped up, and it was hard at first. It takes a lot of time. It takes patience. It's literally, even in the upper grades, having word walls up so that they can kind of be exposed to those words a lot. Where I am now, it's more of an international school. This school's it's just a different world, so it's not as hard as it once was. But
And you've taught in local schools. I haven't taught in local schools before, but you have as well.
I taught both expat and local.
Okay, so
Big
I know
difference.
those are big worlds.
Yeah.
One thing that you brought up, I made a video about it not too long ago, is about you coming in on a referral.
yeah.
So I'd like to know how you felt about coming in on a referral. Like, were there any, like, how did you feel about coming in on a referral?
Because like I said, it was two friends. Because the two people that I came in under or through, they were strong teachers. I think that kind of already helped in my situation. It's like, okay, well, if these two are already strong, I'm sure they're not going to recommend anyone weak. But unfortunately, when I first came into that first school, that was a local school, there was a shakeup at the campus. So when I arrived, the new principal also arrived. So she knew absolutely nothing. It was pretty much like middle management running the school. And then she decided that she doesn't like it, and she tried to shake it up some more. So it was literally starting school brand spanking new, fresh. You can't really get any help from anyone else because people thought they were teaching one grade, they found out it's another, so it's almost like every man for themselves, which was stressful at the beginning. Took a while. I had some sleepless nights. I had some crying in the office. I had some, I can't do this, I'm going home. But then I remember who I am as a person, and that's just not it. So it's like, even if I decide that I'm not going to stay for the full 3 years, I'm going to finish at least the first year of my contract, and then I'll leave. Even though you have that 6-month period, no questions asked, it's like, no, I'm here, I'm going to stick it out, I'm going to do it at least for 1 year. And lo and behold, 5 years later, I'm still here.
Ooh, I didn't. No, I did ask how long you've been here. I'm the baby in the group when it comes to living and teaching abroad. All right, so I guess my final question is: anybody that's interested in like teaching abroad, what type of information would you give them? Would you encourage them? Would you tell them a region to go to? Like, what would you tell people who are still at home in the States? Maybe they, need something new. Maybe they're tired of where they're at. What information or, advice would you give those people who are looking for a change?
I would say come with an open mind. Like, go for it, definitely. I say you only live one life, right? So you have to experience everything. I don't want you to die or be on your dying bed and you're like, what if I did this? So definitely do it. A failure is not a failure. You're still learning a lesson from it, ultimately, in the end. So I would say apply, go for it, and just make sure that you come with an open mind. You have people who come and they're like, oh, they have these views on a culture, and then it's negative views that they feel or just opinions that they have about it, and then they come with that, and it makes your time here terrible. Like, it's just negative all the way around because you came wrong. So open mind, go for it, apply. The most that can happen is they say no.
Yeah, for me, same thing. Have an open mind. Be willing to want to learn about another culture, learn another perspective, just stay open.
Yes,
Mind, heart, soul, everything. Just stay open.
These are my people. I am Emirati. Emirati is me.
And it's decent over here. It's good. I know people get the whole, you don't know what's going on over there. We're just like, no, we're here and
We
we're fine.
experience it on a daily basis.
We're good to go. And so I'm enjoying my time here. I know that you all are enjoying your time here. So to wrap it up, can you tell us how we can find you all on social media?
I am Nat's World Tour on Instagram and Desire Span on Facebook.
I am Miss Zaynah Teaches on Instagram, and you can't find me on Facebook.
Don't worry, I'll put your information down there so they can find it. What I need from you all, thank you for listening, thank you for watching. I'm just going off my questions that I've developed and getting a few different stories from different people who teach different subjects at different schools in different places. But if you want more information, if you have any questions, please just go ahead and send it in, comment below, message us on YouTube. I'm not on Facebook yet with this, but Instagram, and we'll bring in more people. We're bringing the same people when they're in town, doing whatever they do, and we'll be happy to have a conversation with it for you. Take care. Thanks for watching. Listen, all that good stuff. Thank you for joining us for another episode of EXPATations. Please feel free to follow us on Instagram and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We look forward to continuing to create